What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today it is November 13th. It is 5 days after the election, and we got some more big news. I will break down what is going to happen moving forward. Again, it has to do with the election. We also have some disastrous news for the middle class and lower income families. Want to address what financial experts are calling for there, and also I want to give you a warning about upcoming sales, what we are likely to see, and what you need to watch out for. So make sure you stick around for this entire video. If you have any questions whatsoever, ask your questions down in the comment section below. So first, let's start off with what was the big news that came out later last night. Well, we now know that Democrats won the Senate seat in Nevada. What does this mean? Well, it's pretty simple. This means that Democrats now have 50 Senate seats as of today. Moving forward, they can get one additional seat if we see Democrats win the Georgia Senate runoff come December 6th. Now, the reason why this is such a big deal is because the Senate has been very tight over the past 2 years. It's been extremely tight to pass any legislation, mainly because of two people, both Democrats. Senator Joe Manchin, Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Both were holdouts in most of the Democratic legislation, which always meant that President Biden or Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had to get one or both of those senators on board. Now, when I say one or both, even if they got one, it didn't matter. They had to get both. But the reason why you would have to get one is because if you didn't get one, chances are you would not get the other. That's exactly what happened. In order for the bill, such as the Inflation Reduction Act, to pass, it needed both senators to get it done. Now, here's what I can tell you. If Democrats win the Georgia Senate runoff, that would be big. Big. All right? Here's why. If they win the Georgia Senate runoff on December 6th, here's what is likely to happen. We will see Democrats have 51 seats in the Senate. Republicans will only have 49. This also means that the two senators, Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, would not be that big of a factor. Here's the reason why. If both of them decide to hold out for whatever their reasons were, guess what? Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer or President Biden could go to either one of them and say, okay, I will give in. I will get you what you want. All you got to do is vote yes. That gives them 50 votes, and it doesn't matter what the other person is trying to do. So that is going to create a lot of conflict, but it's going to be a big deal. Now, also keep in mind that if Democrats cannot remain in control over the House of Representatives, guess what? All of this will not even matter. So that's the reason why the Senate count is so important, but also why the House of Representatives is a big deal as well. Because if Republicans are in control of the House, that means it doesn't matter what the Senate passes, it may go to the House and just die. So we need to keep an eye on that, and I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news as soon as we get it. And now let's talk about what financial experts are calling bad news for middle and lower income households. Many are calling the moves by the Federal Reserve, and I quote, disastrous for the middle class. But why is this? Well, here's what we know. They are saying that currently 6 in 10 U.S. households don't have enough liquid assets to cover 3 months of expenses. Okay. The major problem here is the average recession lasts 10 months. But 6 out of 10 U.S. households cannot cover 3 months of expenses. We also know in a recent survey, only 12% of Americans say they wouldn't be able to afford and cover a $400 expense. And around 27% of those people, they say they could afford a $400 expense. However, they would have to utilize credit in order to do so. But this is a huge concern. What the Federal Reserve is doing right now is they're continuing to raise rates. They're trying to tighten. The problem with this is it's likely to push the U.S. into a recession. We were already in a technical recession for 2 quarters. Then we popped out of the recession, but the expectation is we'll go right back in. And when we do, some are saying that this will not be a recession, but a depression. The problem is if American households do not have the money to cover their expenses in case they lose their job, prices on goods increase, we see additional inflation, that is a huge concern. But again, this is something that we have seen over the past couple of years. But the major problem, though, is that the price of essentials keeps rising. This includes food, medications, rent, utility payments, and things like that. Now, this is also why I'm a firm believer that we can do more to put money aside. We can do more to put a little bit more into savings. We can pick up an extra hour at our place of employment if it's possible, right? Try to get some overtime if they allow it. Or possibly just get a side hustle. Do something to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. If you can do something on the side that will cover a major bill, that is a great way to start. Start with $300 a month because that is like $10 a day. And then move that up to $500 and $1,000 and $1,500, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 and keep going up and up and up. But again, you have to start somewhere. And lastly, let's talk about the big sales because yes, there are some big sales coming very soon. We know it's the holiday shopping season and that's probably where the sales are going to be, right? Well, there's something else that is causing these excessive sales. Huge discounts, large markdowns. Stores like Home Depot, Target, Walmart, Kohl's, Costco. Honestly, the list can go on and on, but many of these stores are trying to get rid of their excess inventory. Retailers have struggled over the past 6 months to a year to clear out their inventory. And when now we have new inventory starting to show up, this has made their problem even worse. Some stores don't even have the room for all their products. And I've seen, and I've talked about this before, where at a local Walmart, I saw they had like a dozen Connex boxes just sitting outside, just storing their inventory because they didn't have room inside. They also had inventory lining the end caps, right? Lining the end caps, not on the end caps. They were in the middle of the aisle, just lining the end caps. It was crazy. It looked like holiday shopping started already. And this was back in October, right? And what executives are saying now is their goal is to clean house. Their goal is to move existing inventory before the start of the new year. Guess what this means? This means sales and a lot of discounts, huge discounts, 50%, 75%, 80%. We may even see 90, 95% off certain products because they want to liquidate, get rid of their products so that they can bring in new products to start 2023. Again, we're trying to get out of the whole pandemic years and get into the new normal. And in order to do that, we have to get rid of those older products. Now, this is great for consumers, especially around the holiday shopping season. But I want to give you one warning. And that warning is that you never want to spend more money than you can actually afford. Don't buy items just because they are technically on sale. If you do not need them, don't buy them. Only buy the items that you truly need or that you plan on gifting to other people. That is my recommendation to you, because what I can tell you is many people are going to overspend just because items are on sale. But then come 2023, when we are in a recession, we are seeing this financial struggle for everybody. You want to have some money set aside. All right? So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.